Yes, sir, we're officially back at it. This is Boog Nice coming at you with the S.H.Figuarts Star Wars Revenge of the Sith movie Obi Wan Kenobi figure review. Let's do it.
This ain't for no scalper. You a scalper? Then fuck out shit. This one's for them real collectors. That's army building and posing figures. Marvel Legends, imports, mini maybe I'm fucking with them. Hype beast, we know about you. Stay buying figs, don't know about it.
Quick look at the box art. Standard box for S.H.Figuarts Star Wars figures. You can see a picture of Obi-Wan on the side there. It says Star Wars Revenge of the Sith, Obi Wan Kenobi. Bunch of other stuff down here. Disney logo. Alright, let's get this guy open. See what's what. Alright, so I've got Obi Wan Kenobi, Ewan McGregor's Obi Wan Kenobi from Revenge of the Sith, which I believe was the best prequel. If you disagree, fight me. But I love the dark tone of it, and it probably had the best action. It made the most sense, maybe. Maybe. But yeah, I really did enjoy that movie, especially the end. It was super duper emotional, and you definitely felt it. That was the best performance from any of the actors, in my personal opinion. But anyway, this figure came out pretty damn nice, considering this is our, what, fourth Obi-Wan Kenobi from SHF. We got young Obi, we got medium Obi, we got middle-aged Obi, and then we got old man Obi, if I'm not mistaken. So considering they keep giving us pretty much the same buck and outfit and just changing up some of the colors, I was pretty pleased to see that they did a really good job on the head sculpts here. So I'll take a close look at that shortly, but let's look at his accessories. Straight out of the package, he comes with two fists. And it's the standard very small wrist peg, so be careful. He's got a set of open hands with the fingers fully spread. He's got a set that are cupped, and there's a little hole there. You could utilize these to hold his lightsaber. And there's a quick look at the saber, which you can detach the lower portion so that way you can slide this through his hand, and then you can reattach that. Unfortunately, the other saber that attaches to his waistband here, you can't have him hold this one because you can't detach it. At least you can't have him hold it with these two hands. So I don't know, we'll see what happens with the other set of hands. Let's get the saber in his hand, and there's that. He can hold that with no issue. It's a nice firm grip. You just have to spin the saber around where this portion is kind of tucked under his pinky, and then it won't be rattling around. The saber won't be rattling, but yeah, he looks good holding it. And you can definitely get him to hold the saber with both hands. Just takes a little finagling. But I suppose a Master Jedi doesn't really need both hands, but it is what it is. They've used both hands in the movies. And it should be noted that the peg hole for the fists that hold the sabers is up towards where the thumb is. So this one goes in on an angle, so be cautious. And he's packed in with another set of hands that allow him to do his sort of Jedi special maneuver, I guess, with this one. Just kind of looks like a peace sign, but obviously he's utilized it in the movie to do his sort of style of fighting, I suppose. But, you know, these, again, they could double as a peace sign if you want to do something funny, or if you want to swap these on for some other S.H.Figuarts figure that does not come with hands that look like that. And this right hand is similar to the first set of open hands with the finger spread, except the pointer finger and the middle finger is kind of separated from the ring finger and the pinky finger here. So those look a little different, and obviously you can utilize these in whatever way you see fit. Like I always say, the hands and heads give each figure character. And there's a look at his final set of hands, which are cupped, but they are not closed off at the bottom. So I suppose this will work out here. Obviously got to hide that peg. If you want them to just hold the saber, you'll have to do some finagling so you can't see the peg, but you can also have him hold the ignited saber as well. There you go. That looks pretty cool. You too, drop your drawers. And taking a close look at this head sculpt, I think this is one of their best to date. I really believe it looks like Ewan McGregor here. It's not 100% spot on, but it's damn close. I think they did a very nice job here. The beard looks great. The hair looks great. Some decent shading. They didn't go overboard with the golden highlights this time. You can see right in the middle of his brow where he's kind of like stressed. You can see the brow lines there, and like he's kind of frowning a little bit, which looks great. They did a really good job on this. Here's a look at that neck peg. It was very difficult to get the head off of that peg. And like with a lot of SHF figures, you can rotate this peg so that way you can move the head forward and back or left and right. But I'm having a hard time even rotating that right now. I'm not going to force it. I need to put some hot water on it. But let's pop on the additional head he has. And boom. That looks great. You were the chosen one. That was a great scene. And I'm glad that they included this. I already saw a few people trying to replicate that in the group and on social media. And usually from head sculpt to head sculpt, there is some variation in likeness and some variation in detail. And there's usually one head sculpt that is much better than the other with a lot of these SHF figures, but I think these are equally good. And a quick look at his deco. This is a pretty standard Jedi garb here, pretty much the same kind of style we've been getting for quite a few figures throughout the line. It's just that some of the coloring and highlights and shading is a little different here for Obi-Wan. You can see that this looks sort of singed, or it looks like there's a little bit of like rusted sort of brown there. I suppose that's because of the last scene where they're fighting on that lava planet or wherever the hell they were. I know Star Wars nerds will correct me and give me the proper name. And the boots here are obviously quite different than boots that he's had on in the other two prequels. These are like a burgundy sort of rustic color. Not really burgundy, but they look good. Everything here looks good. I like the little details, the belt, all of the highlights on the belt, the little gold insignia, and these little buttons, the pouches. Some really fine detail here. He looks good. Quick look at articulation. You saw that the head and neck were separate parts, so you can get him to look down pretty far. I assume I could get him to look up a bit more if I were to rotate that neck peg and get it going back and forward, but I cannot move it at this moment. I'm gonna have to save that for a later date. Shoulders on a ball joint, they'll come up just about that far. I assume that if you push these to the max, to the limit, that the arms will pop out the socket. That's how they've been on previous figures with this particular buck, but you can do a full 360. There is a butterfly joint in there. There is a upper bicep swivel, sort of, or upper shoulder swivel, not really a cut at the bicep. You get a bit more than 90 degrees on the elbow, and it'll swivel there as well. You get a swivel and a hinge on the wrist. You get lower abdomen articulation, not really much as far as the upper torso goes, but you can turn them left to right there. This is a soft piece here. You can see how that looks. Sort of looks like the standard barbell joint down in there for SHF. His legs will come up pretty far. You can actually get him to do a decent split. There's an upper thigh swivel. There's a double jointed knee. You get a swivel, a hinge, and a pivot on the foot, as well as a toe joint. Alright, a few quick size comparisons. Left to right, we have Episode 1, Young Obi Wan Kenobi. Then we have Attack of the Clones, Obi Wan Kenobi, which was the worst in terms of likeness to Ewan McGregor. That doesn't look like him at all. It looks like White Jesus. And then we have this newest version from Revenge of the Sith. And then we have Episode 4, A New Hope, Old Man Obi. And I think at some point we're going to be getting the astral plane Obi Wan Kenobi. And just for good measure, here's Obi Trice. Alright, then we have Revenge of the Sith Anakin. Obviously, Anakin, this version of Anakin and Obi Wan Kenobi go together for that fateful battle at the end of the movie. And when Anakin yells, "I hate you!" That was great. And then we have a standard clone trooper on the right. I think they're going to be releasing some of the other squad leaders and colors and stuff like that. I only have a few of this standard issued clone trooper, but these all look good together. And there is a figure that my dad made with my daughter during a crazy arts and crafts session made out of wine corks and bendy wire. On the left and on the right, I have the Marvel Legends Kree Sentry Build-A-Figure Wave Captain Marvel, which was actually part of my gratis from Toy Fair from Hasbro. Thank you, Hasbro. Alright, I gotta get out of here. I need this set and this space for me to redo a display that I was working on that I really want to work on. It's Star Wars themed. I had broke out my my Death Trooper, so I want to tighten that up. I had posted a picture and got some feedback, and I want to tighten that up. But these two look great together. I'll get a proper display going with these two after I clear my plate a bit. Obi-Wan, this version of Obi-Wan is definitely one I would recommend. I think S.H.Figuarts did a really good job here. So yeah, you should get them. I got them for maybe like $50 directly from Japan. It'll be just a bit more on the secondary market. Well, just a bit more domestically and just a bit more than that on the secondary. So get out there, get on the hunt, and thanks for hanging out. As always, rate, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, peace.
That's crispy.
Woo. The eyes move around. He's actually articulated. It's better than some company figures. That articulation. Legs get out. Does a split. Double jointed elbows.